Hello Tula Nation, Nick here to talk to you guys over a little bit of a Minecraft mod spotlight. As you guys can see, we are back here in the mod spotlight world. Sorry I've been gone so long, guys, but today we have quite the huge mod. It is the Improving Minecraft mod by Pifu 29000. Or that's wrong, 92,000. I typed that wrong. It's 92,000. But anyway, this mod has a ton of cool things. As you guys can see, these aren't necessarily new mobs. These are the existing mobs with a few modifications. We got a bunch of stuff that's changed with the vegetation. We got a bunch of stuff that's changed with the game dynamics. We got a bunch of new items that have been added. So let's go over them. So I should mention before we get started that this is a Forge mod loader compatible mod. So make sure you guys click the link in the description or the eye on the top right hand corner of the screen to see how to install Forge mod loader. Once you guys do that, you just simply drag the mod into the mods folder and you are good to go. I'll leave the Minecraft forum page and the links down below so you guys can go check out any of the information I may have missed. First, one of the really cool game dynamics that have changed is they've actually made animals evolve. So there's basically wild and domesticated animals. These are the most wild of the animals. So these right here are actually cows. So if we get them to love each other, right, and we break this guy down there, they are going to come together and they're going to make this little baby. And this little baby is going to be the next iteration, if you will, of the breed. So as this guy grows up, it's going to be less wild, and then and then it's going to continue on. There's 4 breeds, right? So you need to breed one of these guys with another less wilder animal, and once you get down 4 breeds down, you guys will get the normal one. So the reason why you would actually want to do this, and the reason why you'd actually care, wild animals will only drop 2/3 of the regular items upon death. So when you kill captive items, they're actually going to drop more, actually 1/3 more items. So it will make a lot more sense in a farm setting. So as you guys can see, we can do the same thing here. I forgot, guys, pigs are carrots, so you need to feed carrots to pigs. Here we go, boom. Boom, they're gonna come together and make a little pig, wild boar baby. There we go, we got a little wild boar baby. And then we can go on, we can see these sheep here. So we're going to get them to have a little sheep baby. And then finally, we're gonna have a, you know, chicken baby type thing. So here we go, boom, make a little chickie, and boom, it's a yellow chickie. And we're gonna have him breed, and then, you know, so on and so forth. They'll create a more, domesticated animal, if you will. Just so you guys know, there is no wild horses or rabbits, so that's something. And then also when you guys shear a wild sheep, it'll only give you 1 wool versus the multiple wool that you will receive when it's a domesticated sheep, and so on and so forth, like I mentioned with all the other ones. So that is by far one of the most interesting things in this mod, is just this evolution of animals. I think it's really cool, and it's really interesting to add that sort of dynamic. The other thing that we can see is, let's you know, cut all these guys down here, is that you can actually now use things like bone meal on cacti, so you can, you know, instantly get a cactus, and you can actually make it infinitely blocks tall, which is kind of cooler. I guess 256 up to world border. And then you guys can do the same thing also with sugarcane. So you guys can grow sugarcane. So as much bone meal that you end up having is as much sugarcane that you can have. In addition to that, you guys can use something like gunpowder, magma cream, and whatnot, and blaze powder even, to grow nether wart instantly. So that is something that's interesting that's been changed. And then also you guys can use bone meal to grow wheat in, or trees in about 1. So opposed to it taking, you know, many tries to grow wheat or trees or things like that, it'll usually take only about 1. You guys can use this to duplicate lily pads. So you guys can actually get a lily pad per bone meal as well. So this mod will make skeletons very, very valuable. So if you guys have a skeleton grinder, it's going to be super valuable. So there was a bunch of miscellaneous changes with the hostile mobs. Things like the baby zombies will now light on fire in the daytime, whereas before they didn't. Spiders can actually drop cobwebs. Creepers will also be able to drop TNT. You guys will also be able to retrieve arrows that are used to kill a mob, so not just the ones to injure, but the ones to actually kill. Endermen will always drop an ender pearl, and witches will drop different potion types. So there's a bunch of cool stuff like that. Also, you know, when we do something like, say, go over to this wolf over here, if we were to kill him, he would drop a leather. So I can show you guys that. Here we go. I'm sorry, wolf. There we go, and there we go. As you guys can see, kill the wolf, he drops some leather. Bats will also drop leather, which I don't know necessarily how good that is, but you know, it is what it is. Also, if I switch into game mode 0 like so, and I hit one of these guys, they will all start to attack me. So animals of the same species will try and attack, you know, people that try and come in and hurt them, even if they're normally passive mobs. And then also, you guys will see, you guys might have noticed these heads that I have up there. So let's switch back into game mode 1? Well, as you guys can see, if you do die as a player, you guys will be able to pick up your head thing item mask. You guys might have also noticed the obsidian sword that I had. This is a non-craftable item. It's only going to be accessible in the nether from a wither skeleton, and you cannot repair it. So you can't put it into a anvil over here with a block of obsidian and try and repair that. Other cool dynamics that you guys have is you guys actually have a speed enchant. You also have a health bonus and health draining. Health draining is going to reduce 1 heart to your enemy upon attack, or 1/2 heart per level. So this is going to do 1 full heart. Health draining 1 would do 1/2 a heart. We have health bonus that's going to add a heart for every level that this is. So this would add 3 hearts to your health bar just by having it. You also have ice step, which is kind of self-explanatory. Where you walk will turn into ice, will freeze the water. And then auto smelting, you'll have that on a pick, and when you break something that requires smelting, it'll smelt it for you automatically. The reason why I grabbed these is just because I want to show you the speed effect. I thought it was kind of cool. I really do like these guys, so we're going to throw it on, and boom! There we go, we get to run around. And as you guys can see, it's not just going to add the cheesy sort of speed effect there without you having to see, you know, particle effects and stuff. Another really cool dynamic is you guys are going to be able to use a book like so, and say I wanted to get this speed effect back for some reason, so say it's something a little bit more valuable, like a, you know, maybe a protection enchant or a sharpness enchant that you wanted to put on a better sword, you guys can do that and pull the effect right off. You will lose the item, but you will keep the enchant. You guys may have noticed the stairs here. These are stained clay stairs, so you can make those now. You can also make clean stone or normal stone stairs, and then you guys can also dye flower pots. And now we're probably gonna go over the biggest part of this mod. Not necessarily the coolest. I think the coolest was the animals and all the dynamics that have changed there, but probably the bulk section of this, which is all the new crafting recipes. So just like a normal improved Minecraft mod, this is gonna have a bunch of crafting recipes, so you can craft the normally uncraftable items. So you can craft a saddle like so, you can craft all the horse armors. They all follow the same sort of pattern with gold and diamond as well. You can make a name tag. They also have the more difficult versions of these recipes, so if you guys are going to the config for this mod, you guys are going to be able to enable the more advanced crafting recipes, or you can disable them altogether, so that's kind of cool. Wool is also going to be able to craft from string, but then you can also get the string back from the wool, so that's kind of cool. So it goes both ways. Paper can actually be crafted not only from sugarcane, but also from wooden logs, so you put 3 of them and you'll get 3 paper. Kind of an interesting idea. We have water buckets, which you can actually get from a cactus over a bucket. You can then make ice with snow block over a water bucket. So with a bucket, a cactus, and a snow block, apparently that equals an ice block. Not my favorite, but I guess it's kind of interesting for those of you who want ice blocks. And then packed ice block, you can go like that as well. And then you have poison arrows. Poison arrows is a spider eye inside 8 arrows, and it'll give you 8 poisoned arrows. So if you guys can't wait for 1.9 and have the enchanted arrows, you guys can get it now. You guys can also do things like, wait, where is it? Presents, that's what I want to show you guys before we get into all that other stuff. Presents are kind of interesting, so I gave a present to myself, and if I right-click that like so, boom, it's gonna give me the adamantium block. Adamantium is a new ore that you guys can find in the ground. It is quite rare, but it'll also give you this guy. So these are like kind of like emerald, I guess, but it looks kind of like emerald, but it's adamantium, and it is very strong, so you guys can make your tools out of that. You guys can also use it to make a brand new tool called the machete. The machete is just as high attack power as the sword, so it's the same sort of attack power as the equivalent sword, but and same sort of damage, except for this is more useful against leaves. So if you guys want to sort of hack through leaves and whatnot, you guys can do that, and it won't do a lot of, or it won't take away a lot of durability from it. You guys can also see I have my nether brick tool, so the nether brick tool is not necessarily the greatest. You can compare the swords here. The diamond machete is like 7, and this is like 5, so not necessarily the best, but still kind of good. And there's a bunch of random other changes, like when you break, you know, bookshelves, it'll drop the actual bookshelf instead of just the books. Melons generate in more worlds. The dispensers will put records into juke boxes and stuff like that. So not necessarily the most interesting things, but you guys can go click the link in the description and go check out all of the new changes that they've made in this mod. So it's definitely cool. I definitely like this, and I think it adds a lot to Minecraft. It makes it a different game, and for those of you who are getting a little bit bored until Minecraft 1.9 comes out, this might be a good option for you. But anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you guys learned something. Make sure you guys comment down below telling me what your guys' favorite feature of the improving Minecraft mod is, and make sure you guys comment down below telling me what you guys think I should do a mod spotlight on next. But anyway, hopefully you did enjoy. I'm the Doctor, and I'm out. Bye!